So when we last left off, found out that this did turn on and get to a disk screen at least. So, it works power-wise and seemingly is ready to boot. But of course, that requires a floppy drive that is in working order. Off camera, I went ahead and refurbished the drive a little bit. Well, by refurbished, I mean I cleaned it as best as I could, applied some new grease and stuff like that. I did not disassemble it. I did not do anything with the eject mode or anything like that just yet, because I didn't want to go through all that effort unless I was certain that it worked. So went ahead and, like I said, cleaned all that up and everything. So what we're going to do now is test to see if the drive works. If it does, and that by that I mean reads disks, then, we'll also test everything else out. More than likely, we'll have to take it apart so that I can install some new gears for the eject mechanism, because they're known to fail. All right, so let's see. We'll get this cable plugged in here first. I'm not going to completely install the drive, mount and all that, because if it's not working, why? We'll go ahead and connect the cable. Let's see, is there enough room to... Get caught on something there. I don't want too much of a snag right there. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and we'll plug everything in and see if it works. That's loud. Okay, well, it's asking for a disk again. Now, I've got a official MTP emergency boot disk, but I made a copy of it because I don't want to necessarily ruin the original one. So here goes nothing. Happy Mac. And I do believe that's a successful boot right there, or so far. And there we are. Of course, I need a mouse to see if everything works, so let me go ahead and grab one. So, of course, the furnace kicks on as I hit record. But a while back, maybe a couple of years ago, I showed off this Apple service part. It's the Platinum Apple mouse for the Mac Plus. And, in case you didn't see that video, it's new old stock, including the actual color it's supposed to be, as opposed to this beige mess. There's the difference. That's how much retro brighting it's going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and we'll see if other features work. All right, and I've got a cursor. Wow, this using this bulky mouse like that is it's a trip, that's for sure. But everything seems to it's got 4 megs of RAM, so I already knew that. Cool. Let's look at battery. There shouldn't be one. Although, again, it's an emergency disk, so it's going to be just for basic features and functionality. And sorry for the shaky camera. Every time I bump the desk, it moves. And also, I realize it's slightly out of focus, and I can't adjust the focus in widescreen mode. And I needed that mode in order to be able to capture the full screen. So, chooser is built in, and then oh, look at that. So let's see what comes on this little disk here. MTP emergency and a system folder. That is it. All right, I switched out of wide lens mode, whatever, into the normal one so you can get a little bit more of a clear look at the screen. Some of it's going to be cropped out, but just barely. So at least this way I can control the focus. So let's see what this actually does. Is it a diagnostic disc, or according to the label, it's MTP emergency, used to boot and test 68K based Macs, which are equipped with only 800K floppy drives. So I guess this is a special version made for 800K drives, because some computers did come with 1.44 megabyte drives, and some came with only 400K drives. So, you know, the original Macintosh, and I think maybe even the 512 did. Oh, look at that. So we can test logic board, VRAM, and RAM. We can't test anything else because no hard drive, and the only system software that's on here is what's on the disk. So I'm assuming if we go to setup, we'll be able to, yep, so this is what we can do. Let's just do some short tests for now and see what happens. Good. I'll have to put a warning there for the flashing. VRAM test passed. And according to this here, all tests passed. It's not 7:50 a.m., of course, and it's definitely not 1/12/4. Not sure what date that even is. 84, 2004. But the basic tests work. I don't think I need to run any further ones for now, at least not now. So mouse works, system itself, floppy drive works, system overall seems to work. I guess I have to test the eject feature still, although I'm not holding out too much hope for that. But there's one more thing I need to do, and that's plug in a keyboard, because I need to test that out too. Now, I don't have the keyboard that would have originally come with this. And in fact, this particular Mac didn't come with one when I won the auction. However, I did pick up one of these extended keyboards, and it's going to be hard to get in frame here, but you kind of get an idea. It's a little dirty, especially here, although these are stickers, so fortunately I can just peel those off. A little bit too much of a glare, but it's only slightly yellowed. It's definitely not as yellowed as the Mac itself. No idea if it works. It does have the Kensington lock there, but I'm not sure. Shouldn't this be able to retract? Maybe not. Well, whatever. I'll probably have to take this apart anyway to give it a cleaning. The other problem is it did not come with the cable, so I grabbed an old phone extension handset cable. Do not just plug it in directly, though. The pinouts of a handset cable are reversed on either end, and the Mac needs them to be in the same order. So I went ahead and I crimped on a new connector to do that. So we'll go ahead and test it, see if it works, and fingers crossed. Of course, I don't know if I have anything I can use to type, but what I can do is open that up, and I should be able to do keyboard works. Oh, thank goodness. So, last thing to do is to see if the disk will eject. I'm not going to bother getting a B-roll set up. What I'm going to do is just tilt the camera that way. Of course, I can't eject it, can I? Because it's deactive. But we'll see. It's doing some sort of a read-write operation. Holy crap, it ejected. So the eject feature works. This floppy drive works fine. Cool, I don't have to take it apart and replace this stupid little gear. I'm going to hold on to these, though, because I do have the other drive from the Mac SE, and at some point this will break. So Wow, all right. What's left? Well, what's left is this casing. Obviously, it's got to be cleaned and retrobrighted. It's got some scuffs and stuff like that, which are unfortunate because they're going to show up even after retrobrighting. But don't really have a choice, to be honest. And I also obviously still have the back half of the shell, too. That's kind of beat up. So what I'll probably do is save that for the next video. I'll clean it and retrobrite it. Maybe I'll have a couple of shots for the next video. What I want to do is show off the whole thing clean, and then we'll do a proper reassembly. And a final reveal, I guess that's it. And then hopefully for the last video in Marcintosh, because this is part of the Marcintosh month, at least my contribution to it. The final one will be, maybe trying some software, playing some games. I don't have much right now. In fact, I had to go and download and create actual Mac disks because I didn't have any. So boot disk, and then there's printing tools, and then various utilities. Since this does not have a hard drive, these can't be installed, and I'm going to have to basically run floppy mode, unfortunately, which is going to be really annoying swapping disks out. But the drive works, so cool. So let me know if you guys have any comments or anything, questions, everything, just leave them down below. Any tips, suggestions, etc. Otherwise, thanks all. I'll catch you later.